Hello, and welcome to Introduction to Forensic Psychology. This is just a really brief PowerPoint in which I'm going to go over the definition of forensic psychology as well as some of the significant historical background. So what exactly is forensic psychology? It applies psychological principles to the legal system, and here are some just application examples. One would be criminal profiling, and this is where forensic psychologists help law enforcement agencies develop profiles of criminals by analyzing crime scenes, evidence, and patterns of behavior. These profiles can assist in narrowing down suspects and understanding criminal motivations. Another example would be expert testimony. So forensic psychologists provide expert testimony in court on issues such as mental health, psychological state of the defendants at the time of the crime, and their assessments can help the court and juries make informed decisions. A third example would be competency evaluations, where forensic psychologists assess whether individuals are mentally fit to stand trial. This involves evaluating the defendant's ability to understand the court proceedings, communicate with their attorney, and participate in their own defense. A couple of ones that aren't on this slide would be child custody evaluations, where custody disputes, the forensic psychologist can assess the mental health of parents and children, the parent-child relationship, and other factors, and then recommend custody arrangements that serve the best interests of the child. Also, there would be things such as risk assessment and management, where the forensic psychologist is evaluating the individual's risk of reoffending or posing a danger to others. And so this is crucial in parole decisions, sentencing, and treatment planning for offenders. There's also jury selection and consultation, which we'll get into towards the end of our class. Victim support services and helping victims cope with trauma and prepare for the psychological impact of testifying. Police psychology, where you're helping with crisis negotiation, police or law enforcement officers in managing stress. So these are just a few of the ways that forensic psychology is applied in the real world. Okay, so let's briefly cover the historical development of forensic psychology with a timeline of key events with 1893, Cattell's research on witness testimony, the early 1900s with Munsterberg's contributions, and then the 1960s and 70s where there was just an explosion in the field. So the three people I'm going to focus upon are Munsterberg, Cattell, and Marston. So this is Hugo Munsterberg. Oops, sorry, my Roomba in the background there. He lived from 1863 to 1960, and he was a pioneering figure in applied psychology and one of the founding fathers of forensic psychology. He was an German-American psychologist and a professor at Harvard University, where he conducted groundbreaking research on the psychological aspects of legal issues. Some of the contributions he made to forensic psychology would be, his best known work would be on the reliability of eyewitness testimony, which he explored in his book, which was titled On the Witness Stand, published in 1908. And he argued that human perception and memory are fallible, meaning not perfect, right, and prone to mistakes. And he was one of the first to highlight the psychological factors that can influence legal outcomes. We're going to do an entire, chapter on eyewitness testimony, and he was right. Eyewitness testimony can be quite damning, but it can also be quite wrong. So the impact of Munsterberg's work laid the foundation for the application of psychological principles to legal processes, and he was instrumental in establishing forensic psychology as a distinct field. This here is James McKean Cattell. He lived from 1860 to 1944, and he was an American psychologist who made significant contributions, again, to the development of psychology as a scientific discipline in the United States. So he was big on personality research, as well as then also making contributions to forensic psychology. So he's known for his early research on the psychology of testimony, and in 1893 he conducted one of the first empirical studies on the accuracy of eyewitness testimony by asking his students to recall details of everyday events, and his findings demonstrated the variability and inaccuracy of human memory, which has profound implications for the legal system. And so his impact emphasized the importance of understanding psychological processes and legal contexts and inspired further research into the reliability of eyewitness accounts, which is a cornerstone of forensic psychology. And the last person that I'm choosing to highlight is William Marston. He lived from 1893 to 1947, and he was an American psychologist, inventor, and writer. and he's best known for creating the comic book character Wonder Woman. So kind of cool there, right? His contributions to forensic psychology, he invented the systolic blood pressure test, which later became a component of the modern polygraph or the lie detector, right? And he believed that changes in blood pressure could be linked to deception, and his work in this area was foundational in the development of lie detection methods. So while his contributions to forensic psychology are sometimes overshadowed by his creation of Wonder Woman, Marston's work on lie detection remains influential, and the polygraph, though controversial, continues to be used in various legal and investigative contexts. So in conclusion, forensic psychology is a vital and dynamic field at the intersection of psychology and the legal system, and as the field continues to evolve, forensic psychologists will play an increasingly critical role in shaping justice and legal outcomes.